Hi, I'm Luke McIntosh, creator of BecomeABassist.com, and welcome to video 3 of Bass Chord Pro. Thanks for sticking around, thanks for still watching, good for you. And in this video we're going to be learning all about minor chords and their inversions. We're going to be doing a very similar thing to what we did in the last video, only instead of major chords we're going to be using minor chords. In this video you'll learn the best way to voice minor chords and their inversions, and of course there's also another PDF chart in it for you. So let's get right down to it. So we're talking about minor chords. Now the only difference between a major chord and a minor chord is what's called the third. So if we have our G major, the third is, if we're using a G major scale, we go 1, 2, 3. The third is our B, B natural. Now the only thing we have to change to make this major chord a minor chord is to take our third down 1/2 step. That's simple, just from a B natural to a B flat. That's the formula for making a major chord into a minor chord. Now this may seem like a small difference, and it is a small difference, but it completely changes the sound of the major chord and the minor chord. Of course the major chord sounds very bright, very happy, very optimistic sounding, but the minor chord's a bit darker, a bit sad, and not quite as bright. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video, and let me show you the best ways of doing it. So we've talked about how we only need to change one note in our major chord to make it a minor chord, so let me tell you how to do that right now. All we're doing is taking our B's, our B naturals, down to B flats. So let's take our first G major chord shape. We've got G on the bottom, then D with the pinky, and then I'm playing finger 3 here on the B. So this is our B, this is our third of the chord, even though it's up top. All we have to do is take that note down 1 fret down to a B flat. And the best way of doing it is, rather than trying to bring this finger down right here, or trying to play with this, it's just easy just to bar across right there. So you're playing the G with the first finger, and you're also barring across, almost like a guitar player would bar across the 3rd fret. So all we have to do now is just add that D. How simple is that? Just from this to this. This is our minor chord shape, it couldn't be simpler. Now the first inversion minor chord is probably my favourite chord to play on the bass out of all of them, and it's really fun. Now if you remember the first inversion major shape, we had B natural on the bottom, then G on our D string, and D on our G string. This sound, this shape. Now all we have to do, remember, to make a major chord minor is to take the third down 1/2 step. Now in the case of G major, we're taking all the B's down to B flats. So where is the B in this chord? Right here. It's on the bottom right here. It's our 3rd finger is playing the B. Our 7th fret on our E string. So the rules still apply, even though this is the note on the bottom. All we have to do is take it down 1/2 step to get this sound. How cool does that sound? I love this chord right here. And I think the reason I love it is because it's got a major third on the outside. This could almost be like a B flat major. But it's not, because we're putting a G. So it's a really kind of eerie mixture of major and minor. But this is our shape. We're playing our B flat with our 2nd finger, our G with our first finger, and our D with our pinky. It's that simple. That's our first inversion shape, and it's beautiful. From this to this. Beautiful. I love that. Right now we're learning these minor chords as they relate to major chords. We're taking a major chord and making it into a minor chord. And that's totally fine to do right now. But eventually, you're going to want to be able to be thinking of these as their own independent thing. You want to be thinking of them independently from major chords. In order to make a minor chord, you don't want to have to first make a major chord and then turn it into a minor chord. And I'll show you how to do that at the end of this video. But right now we're going to be talking about our second inversion minor chord. Now if you remember our second inversion shape from the last lesson, we had our D on our E string, 2nd finger. We had our B on our D string, 9th fret, our 1st finger, pointer finger. And we had our G, played by the pinky, on our G string, 12th fret. Now we talked about how we only have to change one note. We have to take the third, our B natural, down 1/2 step. And where's our B natural in this chord? It's right here. It's our index finger playing our B, the 9th fret on our D string. All we have to do is take that down 1 fret. Easy, nothing to it. Just from this to this. This is our second inversion minor chord shape. And this is also really pretty. Lovely. Now, because of this stretch between the B flat and the G, this is probably one of the most difficult chords to play in Bass Chord Pro because of that stretch. But if you keep working at it every day, do a little bit, keep trying to stretch your hand, try not to hurt yourself obviously, but eventually this will become natural. Nothing to it. So how do we start thinking of these chords without having to first think of the major versions? Repetition. Repetition is the key, it's the mother of all skill, as the saying goes. So what we want to do is, remember the exercise we did in the last lesson where we went from root position, first inversion, second inversion? We're going to do the exact same thing but with our minor chords. So we're going to start with the first one, our root position, barring across the 3rd fret, pinky on the D. You could also play this with your 3rd finger, but I'm going to play it with my pinky. And then we're going to move from that one to our first inversion minor chord, G minor chord, and then to our second inversion, and then back down. That sounded really good, that's beautiful. And then what do? You start on a different note, you start on A flat. That time I was using the 3rd finger instead of the pinky on the root position chords, which is totally fine. And then you start on A, then you start on B flat, then you start on B, and you just go through the whole thing so eventually all the notes are comfortable and they're second nature to you. You don't have to think about first going from a major chord and then turning it into a minor chord. It'll just be natural. G minor, first inversion G minor, second inversion G minor. Or you could think G minor over B flat, because that's our note on the bottom, and then G minor over D, which is our note on the bottom. Keep doing this until there's no way you could possibly forget it. Personally, I could practice this all day just because I think it's beautiful. I love the sound of these ones, but maybe that's just me. So to review, all we need to do to make a minor chord is take a major chord and take the 3rd down 1 fret. So we have our G major chord, the B's up here, take it down 1 fret. In our first inversion major, the B is on the bottom, on our E string, on the bottom of the chord. So all we do is take that note down 1 half step. And then with our second inversion chord, all we do is take the B on the D string, we take that down 1 fret. Nothing to it, too easy. And when we put it all together, we get this sound. Now in the next lesson we're going to be dealing with a slightly more complex chord. We'll be dealing with the major 7th chord. I'll show you how to create a type 1 and a type 2 major 7th chord. And of course there's a new PDF in it for you as well. So once again, I'm Luke McIntosh, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.